an aggregator, and the term officially is perhaps a difficult one, because there's nothing official to any of that. The problem with the Visa and MasterCard networks is they're aimed at wealthy people. They're quite expensive transactions for individuals to use, and M-Pesa is aimed at servicing everyone. And so we're able to do transactions at a fraction the price that you can do on a traditional Visa or MasterCard acquiring operation. You know, for a bank to become a merchant acquirer and to deploy terminals to merchants costs a considerable amount of money. There's very high license fees, there's very expensive infrastructure and software required, and then you have a very high cost per transaction. You know, merchants are paying as much as 3.5% of the transaction value as a merchant discount rate or commission on those sorts of transactions. On M-Pesa OneTap, merchants pay a maximum of 0.5%, okay, and we cap that to a fee of 200 shillings. So any transaction above 40,000 shillings is capped at 200 shillings. Further, transactions below 200 shillings are free, both to the merchant and to the customer. And that price point makes M-Pesa payments with OneTap as easy and as frictionless as cash. Well, what we're looking to do is to increase our relevance to users. And I'm looking to get M-Pesa relevant on a daily basis to users. So it's daily relevance that we're looking at. You know, people do person-to-person transfers from time to time. They move money, pay their bills from time to time. But people buy things. They pay merchants every single day. And that's exactly the service we're tapping into. We started the journey with Lip and M-Pesa, which got us to a huge number of merchants and many, many times more transactions by volume and value than the existing card associations. And we're now looking to grow that even further. The number of customers that have joined M-Pesa because of Kidogo is huge. The number of customers that have come out of dormancy, so they had been customers but hadn't used it for up to 90 days, has been huge. The growth of transactions in that Kidogo value point has also been many, many times our annual growth that you saw today. So what we've done is we've actually made it easier. Our existing Lip and M-Pesa business required merchants to have a business license and various other KYC requirements because we allowed very large transaction volumes through that to the merchant. What we've introduced with OneTap is a multi-tier approach to KYC with merchants. Some of them are, so we have the lowest tier of merchant is the same values that you're allowed to transact as an individual. So we use an existing KYC that you have if you're an M-Pesa user, allows you as a Boda rider, a Mamamboga, a Kokoteni guy, whoever it is, to immediately take and use OneTap. And there is no additional onerous KYC because we keep the same transaction limits and values as we do for normal M-Pesa usage. Okay, so that was also announced today, and we'll be coming back to you with further detail on that as we roll out. But the intent is to roll that out in 3 months' time. Providing the service points for customers to be able to transact and at price points that make sense for merchants and for customers. So now a customer, if he received value across M-Pesa, he now has a choice. Before he would have to go to an agent, do a cash withdrawal and pay money for that. And now he can do transactions at merchants and pay no fees for doing those transactions. It's free in the hands of the customer. You said, are we seeing it? And yes, we are. It's rolling out further and further. And we have a number of plans to make that as broad as we possibly can. But you're already able to pay with M-Pesa on a number of the payment aggregators that service e-commerce sites. And the Safaricom e-commerce site will be obviously a big leader in that. Watch this space. Okay. Obviously innovations will continue to come, but we'll talk about that as we launch them.